Howdy y'all, and welcome to part 19 of my playthrough series of Conan Exiles Enhanced. Again, not starting at my base, because I'm going to be building a new base. So I realized when I was thinking about things that I'm going to be doing or could be doing in this particular episode or anything else, I really am out of where I should be if I'm down here where my current base is. I mean, I like it, it's cool, it's a neat location and so on. Everything at this point I'm doing, or almost everything, is going to be up here in the north. Or even up in the frozen north. So I'm going to build a base right here at the very edge of the Highlands on this particular platform of land. So I brought Horse with me, who is loaded up with almost everything I had in shaped wood, hardened brick, and steel reinforcement. And then I also brought Delencia with me just because in case anything happens. I am going to put a chest. I brought some iron reinforcements so I can make... Yeah, I've got enough to make 4 of these chests. I only need 1. Let's see. Make sure it's close enough. Come on, Horse. Get over here. Alright, let's see. I'm currently 44% encumbered. And now I'm 424% encumbered. Luckily, there's no extra damage if you go up to, hundreds and hundreds of times what you should be able to carry. Let's go ahead and put that in there, too. And as always, just because I like to do that, sort by type. Alright, now that means I can have Horse just sort of stand guard over here so Horse is out of the way. And realistically, the same thing with Delencia. I have in mind the plan I'm going to be making, which means everything needs to be going that way if I want to square it off on these 2 points. So let's start with it's going to be built almost entirely a combination of Numidian, stable, and probably reinforced stone. They all use exactly the same, hardened brick, shaped wood, steel reinforcement. Let's start, because it's going to be interior and nobody will see it, with reinforced stone foundations. I'm not sure how flat the land is going to be. So let's elevate this up a little bit. I'm going to go 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 deep, I think. Alright, and then do I want to do it as 5? Because it doesn't matter. Because there's not going to be any entryway, so it's going to be an exit off of here, maybe. Yeah, let's do it 5. So I'll do 1 from interior. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6. And then, ooh, that may stick out too far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. That's nice and even now. All right. Now, in the back part of this, I think I'm still not sure if I want to go bays on the two bays on the outside or one big bay in the middle. I always do two bays on the outside, so I'm going to do one big bay in the middle. Let's see. And so this is going to need to be 3 deep. So 1, 2. Actually, I'm still... How do I want to do this? Because these are going to wind up ultimately being 4 wide, but to be able to use pillars on the corner, I'm going to use... reinforced stones, or I'm going to use ceilings. I don't like the reinforced stone. You know what? I think I may just go with stable. All right, so this is 3, so that will be 4 if I do it across that way, and then plus the bays. All right. Let's see. All right, I don't need this one to be as big as the main base. So let's get rid of all of these, and then we'll go with this. And now we'll do the kick out. Or the bay. Alright, so that's 1, that's 2. So let's bring it in to here. This is going to be a tough one to figure out. There we go. Nope. Can I get it? I can't see... Okay, I'm not going to be able to get it to line up straight. So it's going to have to be... Alright, why aren't you... There we go. So it's going to have to be going in the other direction from... from the square pieces. 1, 2. I want a 2 in. Alright, so let's get those all to line up. Okay, and now I'm going to go back to the squares. That makes this interior space only 3 wide. Yeah, I guess that'll work. Alright, so now let's put walls or fences. What if I put Numidian stone walls? Which way is outside? That's outside? Yeah. Versus stable wooden walls. I'm not sure I can tell which one is the outside of that. Versus stable fence foundations. Versus Nemedian fence foundations. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with stable fence foundations. Kind of like that look better. Assuming they are all oriented in the correct way. And I might need to put something down underneath them out there at the front. Why aren't you? There we go. All the way around, all the way around. All right, do I need to... I can't tell. Be tough. I think that goes all the way down to the bottom there. Okay, so 1, 2. I'm going to need doorways out here, but I'm going to have them open doorways. And I think I'm going to go with stable lattice doorways. Because out here, I am going to... Oh, I forgot to get... I was going to chop down some trees and get some stone to be able to build... You know what? It's all right here. I don't need a lot, because I'm just going to build 2 small decks out in front of both of those 2 projecting pieces that look out over the Highlands. Really quickly grab some stone. And then swap over to a hatchet. And grab some wood. Choppity, choppity, choppity. And what the heck, let's whack this guy too. Get some branches as well and some dried wood. Probably going to need, since it's flotsam, that's more reliant on wood pieces than it is on stone. I'll do 1 more tree and I'll call that good. There we go. All right. And we go back to this, and we are going to go to Flotsam. And why didn't you go? Alright, let's go to the other side and do that as well. Might actually need to go get a little bit more wood and stone. I said I only had 21, and I've just used up 16, and I want to put not that it matters with these things. They're all actually, they do have an orientation. I probably should have noticed that. And I think that means I don't have enough. Yeah, okay. Plenty of stone. Go get a little bit more wood. And one of the advantages of doing all of this down near Noob River is those are all basically palm trees. And the foliage doesn't start until the very top. As opposed to here, where the minute I get up into a tree, you can't see me at all. Oh, okay, I guess this one. I mean, that's more typical of the kind of pine trees I'm used to. Dead branches down at the bottom. And live foliage, you know, up above. Although these look a little bit more like fir, or maybe spruce, which do have a tendency to be a little bit lusher foliage all the way up and down the trunk. Alright, we'll get you guy, you. Oh, and some stone too. Look at that. Alright. And back to here. Back to the proper orientation. Let's go do it on the other side. Come on. There we go. All right. Do I have enough to go ahead and do the fencing? Maybe not for both, but we'll give it a try. And if I don't, I'm not going to waste any more time cutting down trees. I'm going to finish off the walls and one short. All right. So let's go to some Nemedian walls here. Actually, I don't need to have I don't need to have protection against the storm because there isn't going to be a storm. We are too far north for that. So I can put the fake it till you make it big windows Nemedian. Alright, let's put those, as opposed to these actual from the building set itself, allegedly big windows. Alright, so now what I want is fencing. Actually, no, that's a little bit bigger. As I say, that's not much bigger, but it is. And then we'll replace... you know what? How about if we replace it with... the wooden support strut? Doesn't seem to want to do that. Okay. I have to replace it with a doorway. I don't want to use the lattice doorway. How about reinforced stone? I can't put... Oh. Alright, this is something that I just discovered. You can't use... How does that look from the outside? That's actually not bad. But it didn't get rid of... Okay, hold on. Did that actually even work? Okay. So, let's go back to the strut there. Get rid of them. I have to start all over again. So, if you have the struts facing outward, when you then go to replace it with a wall, yeah, see, now it's facing outward the correct way. And I don't like that. I'm pretty sure if I just try to put a... Yeah, see, I can't just put that there, so now I have to go back and put support. Have it face that way. There we go, and door frame. Alright, now, the question is that really any bigger or better an opening than that? Kind of. How about if... Alright, I have to replace everything here. Stable, strut, face inward. How about if I went with crenellated wall? And then... There we go. That's what we want. Harumph. Now we have to get rid of everything again. Alright. Stable. Supports. Facing inward. The median. Crenellated wall. Facing outward. The median. Door frame. Yeah. Those are the windows I want. And that's facing outward too, so we gotta get rid of that. Facing inward. Crenellated wall facing outward. Door frame. Boom. That's more like it. All right. So in which case, all of this stuff has to go on the side as well. rid of it all. Go back to stable. Pillars. Face inward. And crenellations. And door frames. I said and door. Am I not on a door frame? Apparently I was not on a door frame. There we go. That's more like it. Alright, so I think in this case I'm going to put actual door frames here. And these will be window, window, and solid wall. All right, now back here, I think we're going to go these windows. Let's see, entryway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can only do one in the middle. And I think I'm going to do one of these guys on the outer angle. And right next to the door frame. And then we're going to go back to the window trick, or as I call it, the fake it windows, for this part right here. And all right. So now I think I want this to go up 2 stories. And for that, I'm going to use the wooden support struts. I think I want just the middle part to be 2 stories. So if that's just only going to be 2 wide. Oh no, I'm going to go, All right. If I start putting some roofing here, because again, this doesn't need to be a huge base. Okay. So there's that. All right, I think I like that idea. So let's go replicate this on this side. I had it right, and it turned around on me. There we go. now... do I want the whole of this interior space to be 2 stories? I don't think I do. Alright. Let's start with... these corners. And then... ah. Okay. So if I then put... which one is the right one? That one. Ooh, nailed it. That never happens. Come on. Picky, picky, picky. Alright. Now I can build ceilings all the way across here. I don't like the Numidian ceilings. You put carpets on it, anything you put on there, you wind up with problems. Now, I do like the idea of having the vaulted ceilings, though. All right, you know, I think I'll go with that. Vaulted ceiling corner. Oh, it brings that wall down. Yeah, no, I don't like that. How about that one? I can't tell which is the... even that. I'm not crazy about how that comes down like that. Oh, well, if it is actually... hold on. If it's going to be then... oh, that's way too deep. No, forget that. Alright. In that case, we are going to go with just straight up stable ceiling. And I guess we'll have them make sure they're all facing that way. All right. I guess I'm going to make more of a second floor than I thought here. So I'm probably going to need to put some supports. Actually, see whether or not the ceilings can do it. Where did that one just go? All right. I'm going to need a way to get up there. How do I want to do it? So if I have stairs, yeah, all of those stairs coming down here are going to go right into the middle. I don't want that. If I have them coming down from here, they're going to go right to the front entrance. I don't want that. So let's go with why aren't you went up there just fine? Why aren't you going in place? If I do that, then I'm going to have a one level. Oh. Do it the other way. Let's go back to the Numidian stairs. Stable. Support. It said support. There we go. Come on. I think it matters what the inner or outer face is. I'm not really sure why it gives me a you can't build like that. So if I then put a platform there and then have it come down either this way or this way. I think I'll have it come down that way. And then we go back to the stairs and boom. There. Put another one over here just because it looks better. Alright, so now let's get upstairs. What do we have to finish off? I guess we do want to go all the way across here. Come on. That's not a lot of space up here. But let's go ahead and build some more. Facing inward. That's where that other one went. Come on. Oh, can you not go up here now because of the roof? Oh. Well, no, wait. That's got a roof, too. That doesn't make any sense. Alright, do I want to build a deck out over this? Not really. In which case, let's put some good big open windows here. I guess I don't really need big open windows on the backside because I'd just be looking up there. And now let's replace those with doorways. of those on the corner? I did. And let's go back to the big windows. Okay. So now I could just put walls there. I guess that makes sense. Alright, and this is now just going to be roofed up. Except I think I'm going to go... because I almost never do this. And actually build a pitched roof here in the middle. I don't know why I almost ever do that. Let's see, so this would then go here. Alright, why are you not doing it over on this side? Oh. Guess I'm just not getting it in the right spot. Alright, in that case... come on. Why aren't you rotating? Yeah. You did just fine there, so why not over here? Why are you not rotating? Alright. Ooh. Is that not gonna work right? Oh, I guess I'll have to put a wedge in there or something. Where'd my corner go? There it is. Alright. That works out better. Boy, that's weird. I'm gonna have to put like 2 corners in there or something? Alright. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to then do... that. Okay, so now if I roof this all off, oh, if I go up to a top pitch here, all right, why aren't you going up there? There we go. Now, how would I do that? Yeah, again, I could do it like that, but no. Silly. That's how you do it. Alright, So now I just have to figure out how to... Yeah, that's not enough. In fact, that's only one wide. So if I put... If I do that, I'm going to have to build another weird structure there. All right. So I can't put this just up here without having something in the way. So let's go ahead and build a floor or a ceiling. Do I want to do the ceiling all the way across? I probably have to. To be able to get that to do what I want. Alright, now I gotta figure out how to get up there. I think this is where... That's an interesting roof line, all right. Gonna use the cheat, we're gonna fly. Because I need to figure out what I'm gonna do here. Alright, I think I can now... Not flotsam. Close these off like so. In which case, I'll do an end cap. An intersection or junction. Is that going to work right? I need it to go that way. And then another end cap. Oh. If I do it this way, I can put... Yeah, I think I like that better. Yeah, that makes more sense. And then I can just put one of these little... where you are, mouse. There you are. Oh. That looks kind of silly. All right. Oh gosh, we're 50 minutes. I think that's going to do it for right now. I will tweak this thing, but this is the basic structure of my Highlands second endgame base. I'll add some support to the decks with center columns. I'll add corner pillars to make this all look even less weird. And let's go back to walking. You know what? Let's get out onto the front deck here. Or one of the front decks. And thank you folks for joining me on this part 19 of my playthrough series of Conan Exiles Enhanced. I hope you like the build here. It's not crazy intricate, but it's a little bit different than what I normally do with my sort of simple big square box and a little bit of extra. So that all said, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. If you have any questions or comments about what I did here or what we do at Nerd Caliber in general, please leave them in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed and you like what we do, please consider subscribing. Maybe even clicking on that notification bell icon so you get notified when we put up new videos. That all said, do please stay safe, and particularly this goes out to my many friends and family I have in the Biddeford, Maine, and surrounding area. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. It's apparently an ice-related fatal shooting. But everybody as well, please do stay safe, be well, and bye-bye.